right now.
Okay, so
We have a second quarterfinals. Both
Yes.
players having 1 point in this match. We have Light Paws against Aragorn.
oh, really nice. Happy to see that. Light Pose back with a white deck.
Yeah, sorry, I'm breath again. Just talk yourself, guys. I was just running a little bit too much to find this quarterfinal. I need to ask to the judge and then get back the old judge and back to the stream table. See a lot of people. So
yeah. I saw you run a little bit, yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
I
so
get
I think I actually in the warm up I lost to Light Pose. I think it's a very powerful deck. You said you wanted to see this card banned.
It's not that I want to see it banned, is that if we take into account toxic play patterns for cards like Nadu, I think Light Pose is not far behind regarding decks that are pretty, I won't say unhealthy, but yeah, I will say unhealthy to some extent.
Okay,
To
okay.
some extent. It's not the worst offender, I think, but it might be considered. I know some people despise this deck by with all of their heart. I'm not in that case, though. I think deck has its weaknesses. I think it is interesting in some aspects. But still, I can hear that, and I can somewhat get behind the Light Pose may be a bit borderline regarding play patterns.
I mean, it is very powerful, for sure. Maybe you should come a bit little back.
Yeah,
back
sure.
I try, but
too
it's
far.
yeah. Oh, I think we're okay.
This is better.
Yeah,
Do you
better.
know who is on the play? Sorry.
Yes, I asked you a question and see Aragorn is on the play.
All right.
Sorry, I just touched
It's okay.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, I don't really share that thought regarding Light Post. I think we were in a meta game with many decks that feature white for interactive spells. So the deck has problems against counter
that's good.
magic, and the deck has also problems. That's not a sandstone needle. I actually
It's a
remote
Caracas.
farm. Is it a remote
Isn't
farm?
it a Caracas? No,
No, it's a
it's
remote farm.
absolutely banned in Commander. Sorry.
It's just the 2 mana with 2 charge in it
Yes.
for each
Yeah,
current, the
exactly.
white one. So
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, Lipo is definitely a strong one, but considering the fact that Thalia is a terrible matchup and Cloud is probably also not the best matchup because you can't really grant protection from white. Apart from Benevolent Blessing, that's the only one that will grant it without losing your auras. Yeah, I get that the play pattern here is sometimes frustrating, but I don't know. I feel like the deck might be a bit underrepresented.
I think after this event, man, you're going to see it a bit more represented.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
I think.
Definitely. I mean, now that it made top 8 and it's looking kind of good, I guess. I mean, 1-1 against Aragorn. I'm a bit hesitant as to whether or not Aragorn is a better or worse matchup for Light Post. I think there's lots of things to consider here. I mean, we have bolts that, for as long as there's no protection from red, definitely deal with Light Paws.
I think this might be a bit complicated for Aragorn to really navigate. Well, Philia is beating because
Thalia's
Thalia's really
crazy.
strong, yeah.
Yes. Constantly flickering the fox, preventing all the auras from being attached is definitely a good find.
you need to give protection from white really fast, but it's pretty hard because after it you can't cast any more aura on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, this is one of the best, I think, tools that Aragorn has in their
Let's say,
arsenal.
let's say a consistent tool, especially, right? Because you can have like a swords and stuff like this, but we've also seen Light Balls grinding the long game. I'm not too sure if that's possible against Aragon due to, once the king comes down, you have the monarch, you
Yeah.
have so much card draw, it's
I see what you're
really
saying, yeah.
difficult.
I think it depends on the setup, but to be fair, I think it still might be quite complicated for Aragorn because all of what he's trying to do doesn't necessarily match well what Light Pose is trying to do. Sure, you have some good white removal. We see Philia, which is a problem. You have to keep in mind, though, we have to keep in mind, though, that Light Pose itself is a white base removal deck. So We might see some interesting interaction, and I'm not feeling that this would be an easy matchup for Aragorn.
Not at all.
I think it should be disputed.
I really can't accept that's what I just see. Well, there is
Spider-Man
white
is fighting the fox.
Yeah, white orchid is played. So now your Svalbard is 4-3 ward 1.
Light pose, you mean?
Light pose. Svalbard is in French. Sorry.
Sveltepat.
Svalbard or light pose. So 4-3 ward 1, and your opponent just miss land drop but play nothing, and you have the Svalbard without any protection, and you attack with it, and you just may die in a random flash creature.
Yeah,
Like
and it
a
could
fire
not.
commando.
It could exactly. That's what I was about to say. It's not only limited to the spider.
But I think he just took 2 white mana in pool,
I think he did.
and so he's supposed to play maybe a protection, but
It is a flash aura that gives +1/+2. This will be a good test for every one of us in the chat and on the booth, because this deck plays a lot of
Yeah.
crap that he's the only one deck playing it. Playing
remember
them.
me a deck 3 rounds ago, like Octavia.
It
That's
has
this one.
flash.
It's this one. It's this one. Red wings. It's this one.
Which one? No.
This one. You're on it.
This? Okay, this
yeah.
is. But when did he pay 2? No, it didn't pay 2. He just had to take 2 mana because the farm was the last hand he had. So he still has 1 mana into his mana.
So you have to go for the benevolent blessing, right?
Apparently, you have a really good follow-up. So,
Yep.
my bad, Julien. You made a right decision here.
Or-
But if you don't have pro white, which means the first enchantment will go out. If you don't have pro white, Felia will just destroy your fox.
I mean, do you fetch the totem armor that gives +1/+1 for each enchantment and first strike? Because I think you just win this battle phase.
He already win it.
Oh no, because no, I'm sorry. I thought yes, this is instant speed, but during Julien's turn. So I thought process that was that if you played this at instant speed, then you will untap and have other interactions up. Now you need to get protection out.
Yeah, that's what I say.
You have to go for benevolent blessing.
You already won the board fight, but not if you give him well, if you give him white protection, Spider-Man will die, but you will make no damage, and Felia maybe can do something next turn.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
with Felia, you can still target the enchantment. So,
Sure things. So
Yeah,
you might
so-
target the enchantment that gives protection from white, then like
and maybe followed by the Sword to Pusher or something like that.
yeah, it has to be some sort of real good removal.
Oh, and if the enchantment come back in play, if there is no, he needs to target something, and if you can target Felia, I think you go on Felia.
I'm a bit
I think
confused.
you're right.
I mean, what he could do is go for a
Is this-
sheltered by ghosts, right?
A flickering ward. No, it has to cost this.
It's Mask of Low and Grey.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so protection from black and red.
I don't get that search, to be fair.
Me neither.
Why is he not going for a sheltered by ghosts to remove failure?
For example,
Because
yeah.
you can't. It costs 2 mana.
Yes, and you were casting a CMC2 flash aura.
Yeah, but it costs only 1 mana. So
You don't care about the mana cost, no?
if I remember correctly,
Light
you
Post will
absolutely
search.
do.
Light Post will search an aura that has the same or less mana cost.
Yeah, and you.
Oh, so yes, you can't.
This aura costs only 1 mana. The first one that he played.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
The wings thingy with.
Yeah, I
Oh,
played
okay.
only one,
I
yeah.
thought it cost 2 mana. Okay,
No, that-
my
I
bad, my
said-
bad.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It's maybe me.
Oh.
Just an error because.
So no pro from white and continuing please. What? Why no white protection? I don't
Could
understand
we
that.
all do a paw paw paw?
Well, in that case, it's pretty rough.
Oh,
right?
maybe he play no white protection for 1 mana in his deck.
No, I'm pretty sure it costs.
I think
one.
there is no, because you only have the benevolent blessing, right? I mean, you could go for another one, and then the other aura would fall off. You can do that. That's okay.
The commander doesn't come back to command zone. Well, when oh, he is in exile from exile. I think you
Exactly,
are
I
right.
think you are right. I
No,
think.
I'm gonna-
no. It's still a zone change. You don't
But
have to
he
go.
don't change
doesn't
zone.
It is still a zone change because the command zone is not exile.
Yeah, sure. But
With failure, he's exiled.
Yes,
He come back in exile,
that's
but he
still a zone
doesn't.
change. It's still a zone
It's
change.
still a zone change?
Yes,
Are you
yes.
sure about
Yes,
it?
I'm very sure about
okay.
that.
Okay,
You
exile
can
from
contact
exile
the
is-
judges, but it's totally fine to put it into the command zone here.
Okay, so yeah, there wasn't. My bad. I thought there was a one mana aura that could have protected the creature. In that case, don't you just take Flickering Ward? You give pro white. I know it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. I'm not really familiar.
Flickering Ward, yeah, maybe it could be recall.
No, because does the protection from Flickering Ward remove? This effect doesn't. Yeah, so I think Flickering Ward was the best, right? Because you lose your +1/+1, but you still win this combat. Philia can't do anything to you. In the worst case scenario, yeah, you lose your Flickering Ward, but I think you had to do this.
Well, player or. Well, I will need to confirm because it's the Relic Fest 2025. I want to confirm with the judge
You
for
can
the
do that.
statement
Okay.
because the chat didn't agree with
You
us.
don't agree? Okay, thank you very much.
Well, it's a change from exile to exile.
And it's still considered as a zone change. Okay.
I
Intuitively, I would have
pretty
thought
sure
that
about that.
as it wouldn't be able to leave exile.
because that would mean that whenever you have the containment priest, that your commander would automatically end up in exile, which is not the case.
No, but because it was exiled with Philia and was supposed to come
Yeah,
back.
but if you, that's what I said. That would have been, but that would be like a basic interaction for a failure deck because you play the containment priest as 1 out of 99.
Yeah.
That would be, it's something that would be in players' mind then. You know,
maybe. I
you know
don't
what
know.
I'm going for, and I'm pretty sure that it's an exile to exile, so it's still a zone change. I'm not entirely. I
Yeah,
don't
okay.
remember. I
There
think I had a
is-
judge call on that already,
Okay.
and because it was exactly the same thing.
That could also make sense because I mean, MTG rules are sometimes
bit
kind of
confusing
weird.
and not really intuitive.
And you are supposed to make a zone change.
you
at
see here
this
one
moment.
brought actually the 903.9.
Okay. Duel Commander would be exiled from anywhere. From anywhere. Command zone instead. This is specimen effect may happen. So that's your
Yeah, it's another exile.
If an object in the exile zone becomes exiled, it doesn't change zones, but it becomes a new object that has just been exiled.
yeah.
MTG rules.
Yeah.
We got the ruling in the chat. Some kind so I just quoted the rules. So it is a thing that goes from exile to exile, right?
Yes, and it's correct. So you can still put it in the command zone, but someone in the tournament go fetch another judge to say, "Oh my God, he can't do that." So everyone was around and was like, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." So everyone was agreed with the. But we have the official statement of the judge who tell us it's allowed.
Yeah.
So we can come back to the game.
And so this third game looks quite complicated from
Yeah.
this standpoint. For light pose.
I mean, failure costs 4. Not failure. Light
Yeah.
cost costs 4. You have a priest. You basically have the combination of priest and failure on the field. What else you want against this deck, right? This alone can just take it home.
There is something too. I mean, the turn you played light pose with the farm that you kept untapped. Regarding the fact that all your interaction costed 1 mana and needing to fetch Flickering Ward was something that would come to your mind, maybe you should have not used your 2 lands to cast Light Pose, keeping the farm untapped, but rather biting the bullet that this farm
Yeah.
will just be used to cast Light Pose and keep your 2 mana separately
Yeah.
to interact at instant speed and still be able to bounce back your Flickering Ward.
Yeah.
Because I think this white protection Flickering Ward was the best thing to do in this very spot. And if a bit later that turn your light pose would have died, you still had another mana to get your Flickering Ward back to your hand. So I think this. It's always easier said than done. In hindsight, on the streaming booth, we had absolutely no pressure on our shoulders.
Yeah.
These players are still playing for Black Lotus.
Yeah.
May I remember you? So don't be hard on them. This is not the point of what I'm saying. It's just analyzing line of plays to see if maybe something better was out there.
I like that. So there's a Teferi on board.
Uh-huh.
No spells can be cast on the white player side, but an activated ability of Aiganyo is not effective.
Yep.
Affected.
This
So
is really good.
yeah, somewhat getting rid of failure. Then again, there's still the containment priest that pressures a little bit, and just paying some life. Casting a king. That's the thing. I mean,
And I think it will be a pretty good thing.
yeah, I mean, you don't really have to worry about it. I hope that, the Teferi tick-up will happen. That's the case. Drawing a card end of turn, and apart from that, I think you're still in a really good spot, right?
I'm sorry, I was reading something interesting. In the chat.
I just said Aragorn is just is still in a really good spot here.
Oh, yeah,
because
sure.
oh,
Let's
that's a
And this is
concession.
concession.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, regarding life total, this was hard. Okay, so the second quarterfinals was a bit expeditive too.
So I'm gonna try to fetch a sum if I
Is
know.
there another quarterfinals? No, I think.
No, we can't.
Okay,
No.
yeah, I think we go.
Because the third game already started on the last table, and there is another table who is not available.
Okay. So, guys, we'll stop here at the VOD. Thank you for sticking with us, and see you in a few seconds for the semifinals.
Yes.